Hello, Claude. Can you
All
hear me?
right. Yeah, I can actually now. Sorry, my microphone was muted, so I've just been talking to myself.
I thought that was the case.
Yeah. I had a really good introduction and everything.
Go for it again. I'll be quiet.
Okay, it is an hour with the balls, So we don't want to be too long a show, and more chance of people coming on. So that's probably all I really said. I was just filling in time. I must remember to unmute in future because when other people do that, I'm sort of yelling and screaming at the stream, "Oh, you stupid fool!" And then I do it myself.
Well,
you
I
know.
wasn't sure it was live, and then I looked at the little clock and saw that.
Oh my goodness, I've wasted a whole minute of my life. Oh, I saw some very attractive pic videos of you that Gangster Ghost put up. Hmm.
Oh, yeah, that was
Yeah,
cool.
they were looking, if I say so myself as a Frenchman, very attractive actually. Mm.
Very
Uh,
creative.
that's as far as your female self goes, of course. I hasten
Right,
to
that's
add.
my female
Yeah,
side.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness! I was just listening to the See Now and Nah, and or Lupin, I think he's called. And my goodness, that was
It,
some crazy stuff. I
which
wasn't allowed
which
on.
one?
Oh, the one where they said that AJ was, wanted to, shall we say, dispatch babies or unborn, but all that sort of thing. I don't know what
Right.
we're allowed to say on here
I think
without
I was
getting
on there at some
pushed
point.
off. Yes, well, I wasn't because I wasn't allowed because he's scared of me, and no
Oh,
wonder.
he blocked you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm not allowed on there. Yeah. But I
Oh,
did
he's
see some others. Yes, I did think I saw you there at one stage.
I got blocked,
And
yeah.
oh, you did eventually. There was someone called Jebediah Jism or something. Oh, we'll call him
Oh,
Jeb.
was this was the show today, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I was
Mm.
just in the chat today, yeah.
All right, yeah. Well, I wasn't because I wasn't allowed, but it was quite interesting because someone was out, saying, well, God set the tone when he was wiping out babies left, right, and center. But they couldn't seem to get that point. I would have loved to have gone on there to have
Well,
got
and he
them
was
to.
wiping out unborn children in the womb, right? By
Yeah,
wiping out
exactly. For
mothers to,
you know, yeah.
pregnant women.
So I would love to have got on. Maybe if Dan is listening, because I saw he was there, he can come on and defend that position because there was nobody holding him. Well, I think that Jebby or whatever, Jism or whatever, was trying to, but of course, they never never give a straight answer. But the funniest part of it, I made a bit of a short of it where they were talking. Have you seen some films? And that film
Was
and
it
how
idiocracy that he was
yes,
talking
that's
about?
right, yeah, and
And it sounded like he was basically talking about himself.
well, it was so funny, could he not see, talking about people that are stoned and well, from what I understand, he indulges in that quite a bit. I mean, it's just bizarre that you would then put that up. I mean, to Dan's credit, I don't think Dan is into that sort of thing, but to the extent,
Well,
and
you
then you're
know
saying, yeah,
how they explain the, God killing the babies and stuff. They say that they were going to grow up to, God already knew they were going to grow up to be evil people.
oh,
So
oh,
like what Hovind says, it's like a disease. You nip it in the bud. And
oh.
that's their ridiculous argument. So it doesn't spread to the rest of humanity. So these poor little evil babies.
Mm. That does beg the question that if that's true, and God knows these things, then what about the modern day killers and evil people? Why doesn't he do the same thing for them and take them out when they are babies? You see what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's
Well,
why I
I
would
mean, you
love
always
to.
hear
Yeah.
that this this God's behavior has changed over the years. He
Mm,
doesn't do the things that he used to do because somehow because of Jesus. I don't know. They can explain it probably better than I can, but
mm,
it just doesn't sound like a rational explanation. All of a sudden, this god's behavior changes overnight, and he doesn't appear to anybody anymore. He doesn't wipe out cities anymore or anything. He doesn't.
I know why it is. It's because the pressure on it was greater because of the ice canopy. I think that's what it is. And possibly one of those rocks that flew up from the fountains of the deep on the way to create craters on the moon probably hit someone in heaven. And that's probably what did it. That's my
They
theory.
sprayed out everywhere else. I mean, they created the rings of Jupiter. I mean, even Steven Anderson,
yes,
Kent Hope and his half-baked.
Oh dear. So it's been an amusing time today, but yes. And have you been on any more of your big expeditions, Big Bad Mama?
I went for just a little hike today, and didn't see anything too out of the ordinary. It was just a nice day, and I got some good exercise in. Hi, Deviant. Oh, sorry, Paul.
Oh, that's all right.
I have changed my headphone setting.
You're granted permission to do so.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Big Bad Mama, did you go on your walk alone, or was there a birthday friend with you?
I went alone.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of the people I know are still working. You know, they're not retired, and so, and you know, they can't really keep up with my pace anyway. So whenever I go hiking and stuff, it's I'm going for exercise mainly and just to get out into nature. But I go pretty quickly.
I'd heard that. Yeah,
I am going to go see the eclipse coming up, so that should be pretty fun.
Oh. No, I'd heard you were quite quick off the mark. A number of people remarked to me, but we won't go down that track any further. Yes. So where you see this eclipse, where is that going to be?
It's coming up through Mexico into Texas, and then through Missouri, Ohio, and then into Canada. But it's going to be a 4-minute, if you're in the direct path, which I plan to be, it's a 4-minute totality, which is a really nice long totality.
That's quite a long time for you, I've heard. Yes. Yes. So yeah, no, that's tell me.
It's one of the most spectacular things you can ever see. I mean, and I saw one back several years ago, but if you've never seen a total eclipse of the sun, it's spectacular.
That can only be seen in your hemisphere, or
I think you'd have to. I think it's coming mostly north-south, but look it up.
So
I mean,
what day will that be?
It's
in I think April 9th.
Okay.
What's that, Deviant?
We checked the not the route, but the areas where it was going to be visible, and I can't remember if it was in Australia or no. I'm pretty sure we concluded that you were gonna be able to see it, Claude.
Oh wow!
So
I'm in Singapore at the moment, so I will check. I will look online.
Yeah.
But I will ask you,
won't.
Outcast, because you're up in those northern countries of Sweden, do you get those, what is it, the lights? What do they call those lights?
Northern Lights.
Yeah,
Aurora
do you see
Borealis.
Yeah, Aurora,
yeah.
I wish. So, as an idea, it should be possible to see here where I am, but I've never seen one. If you go further north, then you will. And it's one of those things that I want to see for so long. I really want to see it. I think it would be spectacular.
Yeah, sometime I want to see that too. Go up to Fairbanks, Alaska. It's supposed to be a good spot to see it.
Can you, Deviant, go up to Greenland from where you are? Is it close or a long way?
No, it's pretty far. It's pretty
You have
far.
to fly there.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't going to swim. You know?
Well, I mean, the way you made it seem, it's like she could.
I'm being a very naughty mood. It's naughty Claude today. Well,
Yeah,
she isn't going to swim. Because I understand
be
it's
a
very
very
spectacular.
cold
Yeah.
I went to Iceland and it was really nice.
Oh,
I've never been to Iceland. It's the
I traveled the
Nordic
entire ring road
mm.
around the entire island. It was really cool.
And does that take a few days, or can you do it in one day? I don't know how big
I
it
took
is.
about 23 days, I think, to do it.
Wow.
And you know, I stayed in places for 2 or 3 days at a time. So, but yeah, you could do it probably if you just started driving around. You could probably do it like in 5 days or 6 days. But I went to all the there's the Western fjords and the Eastern fjords, and so I visited both of those, and they're kind of off the main ring road, which is the road that goes around the whole island.
Oh, it sounds a fascinating place.
Yeah, especially for a geologist. I mean, it's right along the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, so there's just signs of volcanism everywhere. There's, hydrothermal, there's hot springs, and there's boiling mud pots and geysers, and then you get the ice caps, and there's I think 3 or 4 ice caps, and just a lot of waterfalls and really nice scenery.
Oh, it sounds
Whenever
fascinating.
Whenever I
carry on.
imagine Iceland in my head, because I've never been there, I always think of a place that's very barren with no trees. Because I do know that not my ancestors, because they would not be there, but my ancestors' relatives would have chopped down basically every tree on the island.
Yeah, I think that's the case, though. I don't think it was they used to think it was really forested, and they've kind of come to the conclusion that it wasn't as forested as it was. That there were smaller trees, because it's covered in snow for a good portion of the year. But they're trying to replant certain areas, revegetate it with trees. There's sheep, anywhere you have sheep, even New Zealand. New Zealand's got areas that are really deforested because of the sheep.
Those jolly sheep, they bloody eat everything.
Scotland too.
Oh my God, they're even worse. Those sheep. Oh my goodness, you have a tree. The next minute, bang, the tree is gone because the sheep is, they've got
worse
very
than
rough.
beavers.
Yeah. Oh, they're shocking, And you know what they do?
Beavers are really cool.
They just give us wool clothing. That's all they do. Useless.
Which I can't even use that. It's so it never gets that cold here that you need wool clothing.
No, you wouldn't. No.
I go around in a t-shirt and shorts all year round here.
Braggart.
Yeah, take that, Christian Pike. I wear shorts.
Yes, I don't quite ever get that one. What's so wrong with shorts? But Is it because it's biblical days they didn't have them? But they didn't have trousers in biblical days either, did they?
Nope.
They wore robes. They wore a dress. The men wore dresses. You know, if we're going to actually be very biblical, we should be running around in dresses, shouldn't we? Or not?
Yeah.
Am I got that wrong?
I
Yeah,
mean,
robes, right?
robes, yeah. 100%.
I mean,
Pants?
that would be great to could just be able to go around in your robe all day and go shopping in your robe and slippers.
I mean, you
and-
can do that.
You
Only
can do
you
that.
will be looked
Yeah.
at as a weirdo.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, it's nothing wrong with it necessarily.
Zero wrong with it.
When we go to dinosaur land, we'll all wear robes. We'll probably be kicked out for wearing a dress. And then we'll have to do a whole program on how it's more scriptural and biblical. And if you wear a robe or a dress, and then Kent will say that we're trying to make us look better than him, you know, which wouldn't be hard. He doesn't like that when people do things are different that he hasn't
He would make
thought
a whole
of.
show about you. He would
Yes,
question
yes.
the genders and your
Yeah.
sexuality, and he'd really get into it probably.
But when you think about it, I wonder when people started, when they invented trousers.
In
Yeah.
the 1600s.
1643. I don't know.
Someone wore the first pair of trousers and
I
was
believe I
burnt
can
as a
never
witch.
remember. Probably. Like, what is this? Two pants
Oh.
legs sewn together?
Oh no!
I could be wrong. It could be as late as the 1700, but I'm pretty sure it's like the later part of the 1600s. So the 17th century.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty late, but they didn't really see a need for it, and also it was easier to clean. Like they obviously could sew pieces of fabric together,
Yeah,
but it was easier to wash if you have like separate parts and multiple layers of clothing or of fabric, not of clothing.
wash
China,
what?
like 12th century BC or something. I just found
Ah,
that's some old pants.
oh, and of course,
Yeah, but they aren't pants like. Or okay, I shouldn't say that.
They look like. I mean, look at the picture of them. They look. I mean, they look like a
Yeah.
ratty pair of my pants.
yeah.
Where,
Well, that's now, you know, if
what
they were invented in China, Kent's not going to like that because he doesn't really like these communists, he would call them.
That's
You're wearing
true.
those commie trousers.
In Europe, they probably came later.
Yeah, so that's what I mainly refer to.
Yes, here we go. Medieval
I should
Europe.
say that. Yeah.
Medieval Europe, trousers of various designs were worn through the Middle Ages. So yeah, that's about right.
So they, when you see like the iconic painting of Henry VIII, for instance, it looks like he has trousers on him, but it's actually like two loose pant legs that are held together and held up using strings at the waistline, and then you have the codpiece, like
The what?
cover up the codpiece.
What's a piece of cod?
I've seen
Yes.
Henry VIII's codpiece that he had for his armor in the Tower of
Really?
London. Yeah. It was and it was an impressive codpiece. I mean, he wasn't messing around.
Yeah, for a reason. He kind of knew to compensate when he got older.
He was a big man.
A thimble
He
is
was.
enough. a thimble is probably big enough.
Yeah.
We won't go any
Speak for
further
yourself,
down
Claude.
that track. We won't go further down that track. Oh my goodness. Um, So what else has been happening in the world of us terrible heathens? Have we been accused of anything lately?
I know Deviant was on one of Atheist Junior released a video with Deviant in it.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, that's actually kind of big. I've never had an act or featuring or anything like that video. I'm if someone hasn't done it without my knowledge and like years ago, this
I
was the
did a
first.
video of you and I doing a stream.
Wait,
I was the first.
you were the first. Oh, I'm so sorry. How could that slip my mind?
Come on,
Yeah,
jeez.
yeah,
I'm
come on.
sorry. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry.
Atheist Junior this, Atheist Junior that.
Oh
I'm kidding.
no.
I'm kidding.
Dan is in the audience too.
Hi, Dan.
And those missing mod has come back from doing something more important, probably like eating. When you're on this show, you don't eat, you don't drink. All you do is be on the show, right?
But you only have to go off for about an hour without food on one of Claude's streams. So.
Yes, that's right. Dan says Claude loved me more than Deviant because he did videos a while ago. Yes, for Claude so loved the Dan that he did videos to try and convert him to rationality and logical thinking. Oh, missing mod says she was washing her hair. Oh yes, yeah, I've heard that before.
Typical.
Oh no, I can't go out with you, Mr. Claude, because I'm washing my hair. Oh well, it seems to be dry now. Oh well, I'm going to visit my sick grandma. I mean, it's just an excuse. I've heard it many times before.
I'm ironing my shoelaces.
Oh. Shoelace. What's happening to your shoelace? Oh yes.
No.
No, poor old Claude has heard all the tricks, all the excuses in the book. So what are you doing, Dan? Why are you so late at night? Shouldn't you not be in bed?
No, Dan is in my time zone. So it's 6:30 and 6:30 p.m.
Oh no, well, all good Christians men go to bed at 6, so they don't watch late night TV with all the terrible things. Might get a glimpse of an ankle or something. You can't get that if you've gone to bed.
What time is it where you guys are, Deviant? It's probably like 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah, 2:30.
2:30. Wow.
Yeah.
Claude, how about
should
you?
be having dinner.
In the morning, it's a good time, 9:25. So it's exactly the opposite of New York, Eastern Standard Time.
So 9:25 a.m.
Yes, whereas you are 9:25 at night in Eastern Standard, and you are 3 hours earlier than Eastern
I'm
Standard.
Pacific Standard.
Pacific Standard, yeah. And I have no standard because I'm an atheist. I suppose that's what they say. Big Bad Mama is Dan, our neighbors. Whoa.
Right. I think Dan lives in Northern California, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you in Los Angeles, Dan? Because I've heard God thinks it's a wicked place. Oh no, San Francisco. So which rough area? You don't have to tell the exact because we're not into doxing people here. But can you give us a rough idea where you are, the Dan? We know you're down in the south, aren't you, Big Bad Mama?
Yeah. I mean, but California is huge. So it's if he's up in Frisco. He's like probably like a 9-hour drive away from me.
I don't think he's
What?
feeling frisky. I don't think he's frisky. Oh, Frisco. What's Frisco?
Frisco,
Oh,
you know,
that's
It's
San
the
different.
same.
Francisco.
Oh, right. I thought it was San Francisco, you know, where bad things happen. Isn't that? Where's
Oh no,
that
it's a great.
Bohemian
San
Grove?
Francisco's a great city.
Hmm.
It's
Where's
hilly.
where's that Bohemian Grove that Kent goes on about?
That's up in Marin County, right north of San Francisco. So
That's a very wicked. Is
you
it that
from
area?
Frisco, you go across the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's up in the redwoods.
Ah, well, we know what goes on in the redwoods. Hmm. It's like Red Riding Hood goes to the redwoods, isn't it? Hmm. And the
That's another
big bad
story.
wolf, big bad wolf Jones comes along. I'm the big bad wolf. Hmm.
Yuck.
Who?
Big bad wolf Jones.
Oh, I thought you said Big Bad Michael Jones.
No. Oh, who is that Michael Jones?
You're
Is
gonna
that
get
the one?
gangster on here to go after you.
He's a gangster. Quite likes him. No, I don't know. I only know Michael Jackson, but I don't know Michael Jones. So.
Michael Jones's Inspiring Philosophy is his site.
All right.
He debated Kent one time, but
Ah.
I guess he's an old Earth creationist. Maybe I'm not positive, but
Right.
I don't
I
agree with
think
him
so.
on most stuff.
Dan is a bit north of San Fran, so it's a long way for him to come to do your garden. Okay, you'll have to find someone else to do your
Okay.
garden. Yeah, too far to drive. By the time he drove down, it's time to drive back.
Yeah, he's a long haul away. He's a long way away.
If you jumped in your car and decided to drive to DRL, how long would it take you? Would that be days? Oh, we have lost some. Is anybody there? Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
You can. Do you? Yeah. I've lost Big Bad Mama temporarily.
30-hour drive.
All right. Dan says he's above Frisco. We don't just consider that part of Northern California because if you live in San Fran, he says that is a slur, that is fighting words. So obviously there's some
contention.
Everybody has that, don't they, from different parts of the country. You don't want to be identified as being part of that lot. I heard the closer you are down, where Big Bad Mama, I mean, between you and me, Big Bad Mama's area is full of quite weird people. Is that right, Big Bad Mama?
Oh, yeah. Everybody's weird here.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way we like it.
Where do they put the flour in their hair?
In San Francisco.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Yes, San Francisco. If you're going to San Fran, how does that song go?
You're
put some flowers in your hair.
See some beautiful people there.
Right.
Is it if you're going to San Francisco?
Cisco.
No, that was awful.
You nailed it.
I really nailed that. I really nailed that last note.
Spot on.
Beautiful, yeah. The streets of course, I know a lot about. I watched a documentary on the area. It was called "The Streets of San Francisco," and Michael Douglas, before he went into acting, I think he was the narrator, like the
co-narrator with Carl
David. He was like who's that guy that does all the wildlife documentaries?
David Attenborough.
Attenborough, yes, he was like the David Attenborough, but except for the streets of San Francisco. And what I thought, it was way ahead of its time. It was inclusive and diverse. because it spun off Iron Chair, the detective series.
Iron Chair.
Yeah.
Ironside, you mean?
Right. Yes, that'll do. Yeah. Ironside with Raymond. Raymond Chair was in it, wasn't he? Raymond Chair. He was quite a famous actor.
Well, you know that Raymond Burr was the best film. Do you know film noir, Claude and Deviant?
Black film, yes.
Well, these were like kind of crime films. They had a certain atmosphere, and they were like from the 40s,
Yeah,
40s to like 1960.
Yeah, and they wore the hat. They wore the hat.
They wore hats and smoke, and there were criminals and femme fatales, and but Raymond Burr's like considered one of the greatest villain of all time because he was the villain in so many film noir movies, and he was always like just great. So I love Raymond Burr. I'm a big fan.
He was quite a big guy, wasn't he?
He was a big guy, and he got kind of bigger as the years went on. But yeah, most people know him from Ironside, and then what was the one where he was in the wheelchair? Was that Ironside?
Ironside, yes. He also did a lawyer one, didn't he? They all
he was a lawyer too.
I forget what that was called.
Yes, Harry Mason. Harry Mason. Yeah. But for me, he was in those 1950s film noirs, and that's where he was really great.
Yeah.
Mm. The Return of Godzilla.
Oh yeah, he was in the original Godzilla.
Yeah.
which he really wasn't, because the original Godzilla was just a Japanese movie, and actually, considered a pretty good movie. But in order to market it to the American audiences, they put Raymond Burr in as a reporter and released it as Godzilla. And of course, it made a fortune.
Oh.
The original movie did not have Raymond Burr in it, though.
Oh.
No, if it was Japanese.
Yeah, it was Gojira.
Dan says here that he says, do not say Frisco to a native San Francisco person.
Oh, give me a break, Dan.
But it's a joke. I'm sure it's a joke, but is San Francisco people quite prickly? Are they? Can they?
Well, I mean, you're not going to be in San Francisco and go, "Hey, this is Frisco." Yeah, I mean, you're not even going to.
Well, I might try that.
You're not going to go up to people and say, "Hey, you're from Frisco."
Well, when I come over and I go down in the hillbilly country, I'm going to practice my things that I've been learning.
Let's hear your accent.
Well, I sort of developed a bit when I was doing my other character in contention. Oh, dang damn those cats. I've got to get them out of my neighborhood. I want some apple pie. I going down to the house, and I gonna get the apple pie that lady of the house has left on the window ledge.
You're gonna use that accent with Ken Hovind?
I could do. Back to Claude. Did I have it? Was I there?
You had it, but now try to do a male accent and see if it works out.
I going on a lawnmower race. I going on a lawnmower redneck race. Is that what they do?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
I
that got Dan on.
Them alligators. I want to wrestle them alligators in the dang swamp.
Dan's from Frisco. We'll let him tell us about it.
I've got to practice a bit more.
No, we're kind of Northern California, above Marin County, and so we always say, it's like, because it's more the Hicks up here, and so it's like anything below Petaluma, which is about 45 minutes north of San Francisco. Anything south of that is Southern California. But no, one time I was saying Frisco because That's what we always said. Somebody's like, you do not call me somebody from Frisco. I'm from San Francisco. Yeah, so it's not me. Yeah, you can kind of tell. But it was really funny because I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even.
Oh dear.
I have a way to offend people even when I'm not meaning to. Yeah, that was that. And so no, yeah, we're neighbors. I mean, 11 hours is nothing in California.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But Northern California is larger than that, Dan. I mean, Northern California starts below San Jose, I would say.
Well, that's what you would say, but that's because you're from down. You don't want them. And we don't either.
When they say, "I wish we all could be California girls," is that
That was
the
not
first
me.
sort of cross-dressing song? Was it? You know? Was it the Beach Boys?
Beach
sang
Beach
that
Boys.
one?
Boys.
Yeah. Which part of California are they referring to?
LA.
LA, is it the
That's
beaches?
probably why
Yeah.
Big Bad Mama calls himself Big Bad Mama. He wanted to be one of the beach girls.
I'm a California girl.
I wish I all could be California girls. Yeah.
Orange County is where they were from.
All right. Do they call that Orange County because it grows the fruit orange? Or
They
is it
used to
another
grow orange trees there, but
orange
it's all
trees?
been developed into cities,
Computers now? Yeah.
computers.
You eat a virtual. You don't have an orange. You
It's
eat a
all
virtual
virtual.
orange. Yeah, but it doesn't need spraying, so it's organic virtual oranges. Oh, they're so delicious. Oh my goodness.
Dan, how are you doing?
2% trees.
I'm doing really well. Yeah, I was just about ready to lose you guys, so I wanted to jump in. I actually stopped the car and to say hi, and thought it was nice being on my way and having so many chuckles. Missed you on it, and so I guess Proverb guys booted you. I'm having a show Sunday, and I tell them, do not boot anybody unless they say bad words.
Yes,
And,
fair enough. Oh,
yeah,
well, we'll
so-
see.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
booted without even saying anything.
Oh, you didn't do anything, yeah.
See, so Sunday, if you see my show on, I tell them because they're
Okay.
going, we're gonna boot. No, don't boot these people. They're my friends. It's like, yeah.
Oh, well, we'll
So,
have to see if
I'm fighting for you guys because I guess
yes, I did hear you say that in another show the other day. Said, "Oh, don't get rid of these people straight away." Well, that was quite positive.
Well, it's like, you know, I like you guys. It's the thing is, and I think that's why you guys do it. It kind of gets boring if we're all talking about the same stuff and we don't disagree.
Exactly.
And, you gotta test what you believe by people that don't believe that, and so that's why it's fun. And I think Claude, I think you and actually all three of you, I think we disagree on a few things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
I
we
think
can talk to each other, and
you should, quite frankly, if somebody come on and they're just an absolute ass and they use bad words like poopy and bottom, they should go. But provided you don't say that, then you should be allowed on. Yeah.
Well, my 11-year-old listens, so yeah. So it's like, okay, pretend you're talking to 11-year-old, and that helps me out too because I can understand you guys better. But yeah, language-wise too.
I think you'll find most of us we're not actually prone to saying bad words too much. In fact, some of the so-called Christian ones are the ones who can say the bad words when they get excited. But we'll do our best. Yeah,
and it's where you're coming out of, I think. And yeah, a lot of Christians, go, hold on to Christianity because they're, it was kind of getting them out of the gutter of drugs and that kind of lifestyle. And
sex, drugs, and rock and roll has been the ruin of many a poor boy. I know I'm one.
Well, I think we can
there
agree.
Is a house of New
too much of it. Yeah, too much of it can get us in the wrong direction.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Well, you
It was
guys
a
have
fun way to get through college, though.
Oh. Well, I wouldn't know, but yeah. Well, you enjoy your drive, Dan, and drive safely.
and good hearing you again. And
Make
yeah.
sure you go home now. Don't call in any pubs on the way. What do you call them? Pubs? Bars. No
bars.
bars. No bars.
No, and it's California though, so a lot of those have been shut down because of they have police hanging around them, and it's good money in California to get somebody on a DUI.
Right.
Like
Don't
50.
go honky tonking tonight.
No, So I don't. Yeah, I like to. I have a hard enough time just in my own mind, so I stay away from alcohol and driving or any.
Yes. Oh.
What?
Oh, I
Oh,
think that he's in a bad coverage area, but it's good. Thank you, Dad, and see you on
Good to
another
see you,
time,
Dan.
or even on Sunday on your show. We just might
Yeah.
come over.
we'll give it a try.
Okay. Speed Romans is in the audience. What's up?
Speed.
Yeah.
I hope Speed comes on
Speed
here one day.
romance.
Yeah. Oh, so yes, it's quite funny how what is it? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Is blamed for a lot of things.
That was my
When
college
was-
years, though, in all fact, because I played in a rock band.
Yeah. Oh well,
Oh.
you'd have people throwing themselves at you or some of their clothing.
Well, I won't get into details.
Yeah. Well, what is there's a famous English, I think he was a football player, and he said that he'd spent his whole life he'd spent huge money, all his money on women and fast cars and alcohol, and he said, and the rest I wasted. So that was quite funny.
That is funny.
Speed Romans talks about there's a song by Ian Drury, Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll is
Oh,
all
yeah.
my body needs. Yes, I of course haven't heard about it because I was so clean living.
That's a good pub rock song.
Yeah. That was good that Dan did, and I did hear him say something on one of those Proverbs guys.
Yeah.
Why
Trying to
block
stand
us
up
straight
for-
away? So, we disagree on many things, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, that
In
doesn't
terms
matter.
of, and you know how, for example, Dan come on here, he was fine. We treat him fine. And
Yeah,
that's
he's
how it
not,
should be. Yeah.
he's an adult human being. He doesn't come on just to try to disrupt and
Rapt, no.
like
He's
certain
not looping.
people.
Loop-a-doopin'. Yes. I don't know what's happened to. Perhaps we need to send a search party for Ghost because it's most unusual for him not to be here.
We need to hear the
Yeah.
Loopin' Doopin' song.
It is very
Loopin'
unusual.
Doopin' Doopity Doo.
Oh my
He
goodness.
sang that to Lupin the other day. It was hilarious.
Mm.
He goes, "What do you think?" Lupin goes, "Well, I don't know."
And there was one where Dustin came on. I don't want to talk to you, Dustin said to Gangster Ghost. I
And
don't
then
want
they
to
ended
talk
up
to you.
talking a little bit.
Yeah, well, they did. It was, I would have simply said, "Well, fine, well, piss off then." But because Logan is so polite, he was just nice.
Dustin goes,
Oh,
"Big Bad Mama expects me to be educated, and I don't know." He was talking like he didn't want to talk to me because I expected him to be educated.
well,
It's
when
like
you-
I don't
yeah, when-
remember ever saying something like that, but
but when someone is telling you how to live your life and talking about science and contradicting the greatest minds in the world, you sort of do expect them to be edgy, have a brain, don't you? It's
It
a
is-
fairly basic requirement.
It is kind of insulting when you're a
Mm.
scientist and you hear somebody just completely contradict all of the study that you've ever done on the subject and all of your professors. And I know Deviant probably feels the same. It's almost like being slapped in the face when you hear these people talk about Noah's Ark.
Yeah, I just, that's
And
right. Right.
it is insulting.
Yeah.
And
And sad.
I'm not. Yeah, especially when you try. I might not be the best educator, especially not in English, but I at least try to explain the best I can, and it's like, I don't know.
Well, you
Throwing
know, this,
ice cube in water.
yeah. You know, on the P-Town show, someone asked P-Town, I don't know if it was me or someone else, because you know, you forget whether you saw something or whether you said it. But someone said something like, P-Town, would you like your kids to grow up like, for example, Lupin or Dustin or whatever? Would you like your kids to grow up like that? Do you really, you know? And I think it's a valid question. If the answer is yes, my God, there's not much hope. You know, there really isn't.
And you know he doesn't. I mean, you know, he wants his kids to get a great education
I would
and
think so, yeah.
to be success in whatever field they choose. And not that those guys aren't. I don't know what they do for a living, but
Well, no. I'm not going to muck around the mulberry bush here. I don't regard them as, even in their own minds, you know, I think they're very sad individuals.
yeah.
Whose only life is these shows. That's the only time anybody takes notice, which is quite sad. I won't say it isn't sad, but I feel a lot is brought on themselves, you know. But I'm not going to be nice about it and do the big bad mama. Oh, they're all
They're all good.
Yeah. Oh, no. Claude has drawn a line in the water or sand or whatever you draw a line in, and it's been crossed. Claude is cranky, Claude. So
I don't know. I like, you know, I don't mind talking to those guys as long as they're not like threatening to, you know, kick somebody's ass or something. Or Lupin just brings up, I mean, he just brings up the most extreme positions, like you're supposed to be representative of those positions, and that's your entire philosophy. And it's just like, can't you just have a discussion about the topic that we're discussing? You know, he always brings up the trans issues or homosexuality, of course. He just can't help it. And it makes you wonder what he's got going on, you know. Why is he so hateful about those things?
Yes, it's yeah. I still actually the next time if I see the P-Town, if I'm not banned from that, which I possibly am, I don't know, I'm going to pose that question: would you like your kid to grow up and be just like Uncle Dustin or Uncle Lupin? And it's going to be interesting if he answers that honestly. Yeah, but I think that's the power of being almost brainwashed or looking for a place where you can feel a little bit important, you know. And yeah, maybe if I felt the need to be important, I would go and join one of those groups too. You know, I am the biggest brain at Hyles Anderson College or something like that. Which isn't saying much, but you know.
I mean, Dustin
What
has
is it?
chosen to go on to an echo chamber basically at this point. He doesn't want to even, you know, he used to come on and talk about science and stuff. And I guess somehow, you know, I'm not going to like take blame for it. But at some point, he decided that he didn't want to do that anymore. Now he just goes to like Praise I Am's channel, or I don't know if he goes to Proverbs guys or whatever, but just echo chambers. Those channels are just echo chambers.
Actually, that's the one I was thinking of was C Science Flip Flops or whatever his name is. He was on the other day, just drove me absolutely crazy.
Did you see I went on P-Town, Claude?
You did. Yeah.
I went live on P-Town with C Science, Lupin, P-Town, and Jill. And I think Aiden went on there too.
Oh
How
wow!
was that experience?
It was an experience. Nobody was rude or anything. It all went okay.
How disappointing. So, but honestly, you listen to the See Now Know one. What is the one where he's complaining about AJ, saying that AJ supports infanticide, and it's just bizarre. They can't get the simplest thing. And you know, I could make one saying God supports it, couldn't I? Because he did it.
Well, you could say that Christians support it because their God is infallible. And so you could say, since they support their God, they support infanticide. I mean, it's easy to make a label like that.
Label, yeah. And didn't the God also do, like, is it, what do you call, ethnic cleansing and stuff? Wipe out entire groups because they were evil or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I just
several
find
times.
Yeah. Oh, God.
It's easy to make strawmans.
Yes. Yep.
But it doesn't really further the conversation.
No.
It's just a way to trigger somebody. I mean, that's why.
Yeah.
Lupin just, all he can do is trigger people, really. He can't have a meaningful conversation about a topic, especially about something related to science, or I don't even think he's that up on the Bible to where he could have a conversation about it. But
now, Speed Romans put up something. Did you see Jim Bob on Logic video? Then Jim Bob did a response. Now, who's that Jim Bob?
I'm not sure. I wish he could put a link, but
Speed
doesn't
Romans,
make him a moderator.
It's not Jim Bob Duggar, is
Jim
it?
Bob Duggar.
Is that who he means by?
I don't think so.
On Logic, no, it must be. But he answers his own. So he says there, did you see Jim Bob on Logic video? Then Jim Bob did a response video. And then Speed Roman says, yeah, I saw that. Or maybe, no, I think he's referring to earlier when Missing Mod says, someone who I presume just uploaded a short. I think she was referring to Gangster Ghost. So that probably was a one. Yeah.
I run into
Christian dude.
I run into Speed Romans in the oddest of places on YouTube. I was watching. Do you know Lucifer, who was on Brett Keen's channel?
Unfortunately, yes, I have to say I've heard that.
He did a high mass one night. He did a high mass for Satan, and
oh my goodness.
I went in the chat just to kind of see what was going on because I was interested. And then there's Speed, you know.
And you mean
it's like
they
the only
that
person
on?
I recognized in the chat. Everybody else had like 666 in their name. It was me and Speed Romans.
I thought that would have just been the worst thing in the world to the people like Hovind or Proverbs guys or whatever. You'd think they would have been beside themselves.
No, he treated Lucifer better than he does atheists.
Oh, goodness.
You saw it. Right? Did you see when Lucifer debated Kent?
Big Bad Mama, what's up with your connection?
Yes, I did. Yes, yeah.
Oh, is my connection bad?
It's It's okay now.
Well, it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
now it's
sorry.
okay.
Is it okay now?
Yes. Yes, I did see that one. Well, we might do our hour, and we can talk again another day, and we can try and go and listen to. It's a couple of days' time. I hope you have a good Easter Friday. Is that's what it is tomorrow?
Isn't that
Good Friday.
day when you're?
Yeah.
Oh, right. You call it that. So we call it Black Friday.
Oh, I don't really call it anything
we
because I
call it
didn't even
Good
know it was Good
No,
Friday.
me neither. But if you look, no, not Black. Long Friday. Long Friday.
Black Friday.
Yeah, I was looking.
Yeah, we-
I was looking in the chat, staring at Speed Roman's comment.
So that means Sunday's Easter then.
Yeah,
right?
Easter Sunday. Yes. And that
'Cause it
means
comes after
Monday's
Good
Easter
Friday, right?
Monday.
Right.
Yes. Well, funnily enough, Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday, and then Monday. Big Bad Mama.
Okay. Are you going to dress up as the Easter Bunny, Claude?
That's pagan. That's
Well-
evil. Evil.
I saw a video yesterday of a Easter Bunny riding a horse, and it was.
Mm.
I'll have to find that. It was hilarious. It was like a furry, an Easter bunny, but he was riding this horse down this road, and they were filming it.
You see the strangest things, Big Bad Mama. I suspect you will be going for an Easter Sunday picnic with one of your ladies and carrying a basket. That will impress them, you know. If you get the little check blue and white or red and white cloth and you lay it down on the ground and
Oh,
sit
that's not a
down.
bad idea, Claude. That's
You
not a
have
bad idea.
have some wine. If you can't afford it, you go and get the communion wine from a local Orthodox church. And I'm sure she'll be very impressed. After the first bottle, it doesn't matter how rough or awful it is either. The wine I'm talking about. And you will, yes, I think you will impress your new lady. Yes, I think you will.
Get lucky, in other words, is what you're saying.
No, there's more to life than that sort of thing. I don't necessarily approve before marriage of that. You know, Hovind has rubbed off on me to some extent.
In a bad way.
And that is the part that has rubbed off, rubbed out. So no, I do hope you have because it would be a holiday for those that are working, won't it? Friday,
Yeah.
Easter.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's
I think
generally
so.
a red marked day in the calendar. Claude, you can't be yawning. It's morning for you.
Yes, but I didn't sleep very well. Yeah,
We'll
I
take
was
a nap.
thinking
It is a
Yeah.
pandemic.
I will have a
Yes.
nap before I go out for the day. But of course, it is Easter Friday here already. So it's a holiday for some people, but it's not a Christian country. So for many people, life just goes on as normal. But for the Christian community, where there is a community in Singapore that are Christian, of course, they will observe. But the rest, there's nothing, you know. Yep, just continue like another day. Same as Christmas, you know. Yeah. People think it's observed all over the world, but it's not. Depends on the basic religion of the country.
Well, I mean, I don't want to generalize, but a lot of Christians in the United States have never been out of the country.
No. You have, though, haven't you, Big Bad Mama? You've been out?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been all over, but I've been to several, I don't know,
Oh.
15 countries or whatever.
Oh, well, I will say goodbye and see you on the next Hour with the Bawles. Goodbye,
Bye.
folks.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
It's